Hey everyone, my name is Robin Solonenko and I'm your SharePoint Online instructor. This is a video for my SharePoint Online Site Administrator course. If you've taken one of my Power Automate classes, you know what I'm about to talk about. This short video will show you how to step into the Power Automate environment and create an automated workflow and then return to SharePoint site and trigger it from a document library. This is the video you've all been waiting for. Thanks again for checking out my SharePoint Online Site Admin course, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back everybody to this topic where we finally get to create a workflow. Now just so you know, there is a special program called Power Automate that we're going to use. I do have a separate course for that because there is a lot more in it than I can show you here in this little topic. But I just want to show you how to create one through SharePoint and attach it to a particular folder. So when we get through this, if it's something you really like and think you're going to need, then I suggest you take the full-on Power Automate class, as there's lots more in that topic. All right, so back in our site, what we want to do first is let's go to our site contents, and we'll look at the Project A folder that we have from previous course. If you don't have this one, just quickly create any type of document library. Because all we need you to do first for this particular workflow that we want to create is we need a status column. Okay, so from this particular folder or library, again, if you don't have Project A, you can pause this video and quickly make one. And now we're going to go to Add Column here. It's going to be a choice column, and we'll call it Status. And your choices are pending, approved, and denied. Okay, we don't want 4 choices, just 3. The default value will be pending. Okay, so we are going to put a default here. So basically what we're doing is when a person uploads a file, the default status is pending until it's approved or denied. Now, just an FYI, even though we're calling this status, you can call this whatever you want. You can call it invoice status, employee status, whatever you need. It doesn't have to have the word status in it, but basically this is the one that our workflow is going to be looking at to see what status it is currently at. Okay, click Save. And you should have behind here, as soon as this goes away, my status column. There it is. Okay. Now again, because we don't have any of these were done before, of course you don't have statuses, but it's okay. We'll worry about the new ones. All right. So from within your document library, you have a ... up here in the corner of your bar, and then you have these automate, integrate, and so forth. They've changed this a bit. In just the previous version in early 2022, they used to have the word automate up here, and it took us to Power Automate. Now you go into integrate, and then you choose Power Automate. And you can see here, you can configure, see, or look at, or create. We want the Power Automate create workflow or create a flow. And it's going to start off here on the right side. Now this is not at all how it starts in the real Power Automate, because it has its own environment, but we'll get over there shortly. So basically what you see here is you see a bunch of templates where you can, for example, send a customized email when a new file is added, because the objective here is when a person uploads a document into this library, it will trigger this flow that we're about to create and do something. And of course, down here you have show more. So I click on that, you can see more. And what we're looking for is one that says, when a new file is added in SharePoint, complete a custom. That would be this one right here. So you don't scroll down too far. It's this one here. When a new file is added in SharePoint, complete a custom, meaning a custom flow. We're going to do some of the things that we wanted to do. So click that one. It will open up a new tab and actually take you into Power Automate. Now don't worry, it is a free copy. It's free to design, so you don't worry about being charged or anything. And you can see here when a file is added to SharePoint completed custom action, that's what we need. And then this down here says this flow will connect. Now if it has an option here where it says not connected, you will actually have to connect to your SharePoint site. You might have to enter your credentials in, but mine is automatically because we came from there and I've already been set up once. So I click continue, give it a minute. This is where, okay, there we go. So you can see it pulls in the site address where we came from. It also pulls in the library. So it recognizes when a file is created in that library, in that site. So now the question is, well, what do you want it to do? We're going to click New Step here. And then you get all these options you can do. Now, these are kind of common groups here. So you have desktop, Excel, mail. If I click mail, you can see I get that option. The one we actually want here, if you type in Outlook in this search, you will get these ones. And we want the Outlook one. It'll be send an email version 2, which should be, these are not in alphabetical order for some reason. So there's one we want, send an email v2. So click that. And this pops up. So it wants to send an email. So what you're saying is, okay, when this person uploads it, who do I send it to? We'll send it to, you can send this to yourself. I'm going to send it to my student account. Subject, please approve this. Whoops. Try clicking in there. There we go. Please approve this expense claim. So basically what we're doing here is we're sending it to the supervisor or the manager. Okay. And then the body, you have work to do. Please read instructions. Okay. So person uploads a file. This will send an email to them saying they got something to do. Now, new step. Come on, new step, there we go. Okay, we have a condition. So we're going to choose this condition control right here. And again, you can always search for control and you'll see different controls, but we want the condition one. And here's where we click in here. And this should pop up automatically in that it is pulling in the various objects or fields from those objects that were above it. So in this case, the SharePoint and the email. So from the SharePoint one, we want that status value right here. Status value is equal to approved. Okay. So once the email is sent, condition is the status value equal to approved. If it is, what do we want to do? Add an action underneath the if yes section. Again, we'll go Outlook and we want to send an email. Send an email. Where is it? There it is. Now, who do we send it to? We need to send it to the person who created this workflow or who triggered this. So when you click on the to, you may have to click on this add dynamic content over here in the corner to see it's created by email address of the user who created this item. So created by subject, something like you have been approved. Body, Your expense claim has now been approved. Okay, if no, so on the no side, it's basically the same thing. You add an action, Outlook, send an email, V2, where are you? Come. Oh, there it is. Okay, to the same person. So click on the Add Dynamic Content, created by email, subject, you have been denied. Body, sorry, but your expense claim has been denied. Oh, did I put a subject in? Yeah, okay, we have a subject. Okay, so let's go through this once again. Person uploads a file. It sends an email to the boss, in this case student 1, that's saying they have something to do. Then it checks, has the condition, has the status, is it equal to approved? Well, because we know by default it's in a pending state. If it's switched to approved, we go yes, send an email to them, to the original user, otherwise send a different email to them. But I want to come back up here for a second, because in this send an email, we send an email to the student, or in this case the boss, but they don't know what we're talking about here. So what you should do is underneath in the body, we need to have, there should be a link in here to this file. So in the Add Dynamic Content, you see here we have full path of an item or a folder or a file. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is to say, okay, please read instructions. I'll say 1, click link below. 2, change status field to approved or denied. 3, close out of SharePoint. Okay, that's all they really have to do. Then I'll give a couple spaces, and now we can go here. We can actually give them a lot more information. We can say employee would be the user. There should be a username in here, I believe. Let's see, we got here. That's the name of the document. What do we got? Term. We'd actually do the created by display. There we go. Created by display name. That will say that we know that's the person who uploaded it. Name of file, colon. So that would be the, where's our file name and extension. Okay, and then we can say link to file. So we're just giving the boss a little more information here. So now we want the URL or the link, full path. There you go. Okay, so one last time. Somebody uploads a file. It sends an email to their, who we assume is their boss, with this information, some information about who did it, name and a link, and then it checks. Now, just an FYI, because we have to teach you way more in Power Automate, we're actually would be missing this step here, but it's a little bit beyond the scope of the course. The step would be wait, because this is going to happen pretty quick. So if we're not quick on clicking this condition is going to execute, and it's not going to do anything because the status is going to be denied. So, or going to be, sorry, it's going to be in pending state. So it's actually not denied, it's just in a pending state. So we actually need to do a lot more. We need to do a case function in here instead, and we have to do a wait. But that's beyond the scope of the course. I just really wanted to show you quickly how to come from SharePoint and make a Power Automate flow to do something simple like this, okay? All right, so all we need to do now, looks good on that. Up on the upper corner, you click on Save over here. It will save it. It says here it's saving. and it's done. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, just give me a minute here. Okay, so what I did is I quickly just logged in to my student email account. So that's my, that's the boss per se. All right, so now that I've saved this, let us go back to I'm gonna leave this window open, go back to my Silverado Club site. I'm in the project here. And what we'll do is I will go and upload a document. Okay, any type of document. So if I go to my desktop here, I'll just take this travel expense form again. Okay, so as soon as I open this and attach it, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to upload it. It gets uploaded and it's going to trigger that email immediately. Okay. While it's doing that, I'm going to quickly see how fast I can change that status to approved, and hopefully we'll get an approved email. But here we go. So I click open, switch this to edit grid view, go to my status here and switch it to approved, exit grid view. Hopefully I was quick enough. So there's our file down here. It is approved. Give the system a minute and let's see if I get my email. Okay, so I get my first email just came in saying, please approve this expense claim. So there it is. So I get this email from the system saying, hey, I got work to do. Here's the instructions. Here's who did it. Here's the name of the file. And there's the locations. It's in Project A travel form, expense form. So I actually would have to go manually in there and look at that document. Okay, now it should be doing the test. I'll just come back here for a second. I can go to this flow. What do we call it here? There it is. I'll go click on it and I should, get out of there. Okay, so according to this, it did succeed. I haven't got the second email yet. Because it has to come back. Oh, I got to open up my other Outlook. I apologize. And in a second, because remember, this is going to go back to the originator, and here it is. Let me bring it into view for you. There's my email. You have been approved. Your expense claim has now been approved. So it worked, okay? So a person uploaded it, sent an email to the boss, which was this one here, and the boss went over and quickly approved it, and then we get another email saying you're approved. Okay, so that is how you can do a simple little Power Automate workflow from within your SharePoint. But you notice it did go to a whole new domain, make.powerautomate.com. And this is attached to your Office 365 account. You can go to Power Automate through your waffle here in the corner. You should have Power Automate there. And it will reside right there, as you can see it. Okay? If this is of interest to you, again, I suggest you look in my courses. I do offer the Power Automate class where you can learn right from scratch how to do everything, and you do it all from within Power Automate. Okay? That is all we have to say for that topic and that section. We'll see you in the next section where we talk about creating guest accounts. See you on the other side.